After analyzing 3,000 trades, I discovered something fascinating about backtesting that nobody talks about. It's not about finding the perfect setup. It's about these 3 critical data points that transformed my trading psychology. But before I show you what these are, let me ask you something. Have you ever had a perfect backtest setup that worked flawlessly, only to completely fall apart when you traded it live? I know exactly how that feels. When I first started trading, I was obsessed with finding the perfect strategy. I would spend countless hours testing different setups, convinced that I just found that right combination. I'd finally become consistently profitable. Here's what nobody tells you about backtesting. The reason most traders fail isn't because their strategy doesn't work. It's because they're focusing on the completely wrong things. And I discovered this the hard way after losing multiple funded accounts. But what happened next completely changed how I view trading psychology. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to transform your backtesting approach to build unshakable confidence in your trading. And trust me, this isn't about finding more setups or better indicators. Comment below if you ever felt completely confident in your backtest results, only to freeze up or make mistakes when trading live. I read every comment and you'll soon understand why this happens to so many traders. Let me share something crucial about trading psychology that took me years to understand. Most traders think that backtesting is about collecting data to prove that strategy works. But here's the truth. Proper backtesting isn't about the strategy at all. Think about it like learning to drive a car. You don't just memorize the rules and instantly become a great driver. You need to develop instinct, confidence, and most importantly, trust your abilities. This is where most traders get it completely wrong. They treat backtesting like a mathematical equation. If win rate plus profit factors equals X, then they should be profitable. But trading doesn't work that way. And this brings me to the first critical discovery that I made about backtesting psychology. But before I share that, there's something crucial you need to understand about how your mind processes trading decisions. When you're backtesting, you're not just collecting data. You're actually training your mind to think in probabilities. Let me explain what I mean. Most traders look at backtests and see numbers. But what they should be seeing is a psychological blueprint. Every trade you analyze is like a repetition in the gym, building your mental muscles for the live market. And here's where it gets interesting. After documenting thousands of trades, I noticed something that completely changed my perspective on trading psychology. And this brings me to the first critical data point most traders never tracked. You see, when I first started backtesting, I was only focused on the win rate and profit factors. But those numbers didn't explain why I was making emotional mistakes in live market. Then I discovered something fascinating. Success in trading isn't just about being right more often. It's about how you respond when you're wrong. But before I show you exactly how this works, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that you trade differently after a string of losses? Or maybe you have found yourself hesitating on perfect setup just because your last trade was a loss. Comment below if this sounds familiar. Here's what makes this so powerful. Every time you analyze a losing trade in your backtest, you're not just collecting data. You are actually reconditioning your mind to see losses differently. Think about it like a casino operator. They don't get emotional when they lose a hand of blackjack. Why? Because they understand something that most traders don't. But before I explain what that is, there's something crucial you need to understand about probability thinking. Later in this video, I'll show you exactly how to develop this mindset through proper backtesting. This brings me to the second critical discovery I made about backtesting psychology. Most traders try to use backtesting to eliminate uncertainty. But here's the truth. You can't eliminate uncertainty in trading. You can only learn to embrace it. Think about professional athletes. They don't practice to eliminate the probability of missing a shot. They practice to build confidence in their process regardless of the outcome. And this is where most traders get backtesting completely wrong. They are looking for certainty in a market that offers none. But what if I told you that there's a better way? Let me share something that transformed my entire approach to backtesting. Most traders think confidence comes from a high win rate, but the real confidence comes from something much deeper. It comes from truly understanding and accepting that the nature of probability. And this is where the third critical component of proper backtesting comes in. But it's probably not what you're thinking. You see, after analyzing thousands of trades, I discovered that successful trading isn't about predicting market moves. It's about developing what I call probability immunity. Later, I'll show you exactly how to develop this through proper backtesting. Here's what makes this so powerful. When you backtest properly, something fascinating happens to your psychology. You stop seeing the market as something to fight against. Instead, you start seeing it as a flow of probabilities. Think about it like learning to swim. At first, you fight against the water, trying to control everything. But once you learn to flow with it, swimming becomes effortless. Trading works the same way. But here's what nobody tells you about this process. The biggest barrier isn't the market. It's your own expectation. And this is where most traders sabotage themselves without even realizing it. This brings me to the third and most powerful discovery I made about backtesting. Most traders use backtesting to build confidence in their strategy. But what they should be building is confidence in themselves. Let me explain. When you're in a live trade, you're not just managing your position. You are managing your own psychology. And this is where proper backtesting becomes absolutely crucial. Think about it like this. Every trade you analyze is actually programming your subconscious mind. You are learning how to think like a consistently profitable trader. Now, you might be wondering, how do I actually implement this in my own trading? Well, there's something crucial you need to understand first. Most traders try to rush this process. They want instant result. But building this kind of psychological edge takes time. It's like building muscles in a gym. There are no shortcuts. But here's the good news. Once you understand these three critical components, your entire approach to backtesting will change. You will start seeing opportunities you never saw before simply because your mind is properly conditioned to recognize them. Trading success isn't about finding the perfect strategy. It's about developing the perfect mindset. And perfect backtesting is the key to develop this mindset. Remember, every successful trader you admire went through the same process. They just might not talk about it because it's not as exciting as showing winners. Drop a comment below sharing your biggest challenge with backtesting psychology. I read every comment and use them to create content that helps you become a better trader. Remember, the goal isn't to be right all the time. The goal is to think in probabilities and trust your process. That's where true trading success comes from. I'll see you in the next video.